Yeah, like you don't need these other SEO tools. Freaking Google is its own SEO tool. This is what people are asking. So like literally it's what it's called. It's got an ad there. There you
All
are.
right, good. There we go.
All right, good to see you.
Hey, good to see you too, man. How are things going?
Oh, not bad. I'm hanging out with my mom in LA today.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
That's cool. What
good to
part
see.
of LA is she in?
Harbor City.
Nice.
You know what that is?
Yeah, a bit. I'm not the most familiar with LA. I know San Diego area a bit better, but yeah, spent my time in
Basically like
California.
Torrance, Long Beach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool, man. Thanks so much for taking the time to meet with me for a few today. I really appreciate
Yeah,
it.
yeah, happy to.
Let me give you a little picture on where we're at and sort of where I
Okay.
got some questions I wanted to chat with you at. So every year for paperless agent, we definitely follow the market. So when agents are busy in the summer, we tend to slow down. When they're slower in winter, and then looking, like New Year's goals to business and stuff like that, we pick up. So we have like a big uptick like January, February, March. And then, it's like that pattern all year. When the Fed started raising interest rates, it definitely pulled like the brakes on the real estate market. I mean, it's reverberated, down to us, our customer, like buyers and sellers feel it, our customers feel it. And then now we're feeling it. We're doing, I think, better than a lot of people we've spoken to in our industry, but we're still
Mhm.
definitely feeling the pressures of it. My kind of analysis of where we are right now is everyone's in like the state of whiplash. And it feels like the markets are slowly warming up a bit, maybe as like things have settled for a period, but it's been like inaction and people a bit scared to move. I think that leaves us in a place where we really need to analyze our offers and make sure we have offers that are resonating and compelling with people and what they're facing now. And like the content factory dollar day is sort of like the perfect mechanism, I think, for really getting out lots of good content quickly just to see what's ticking off. But
Mhm.
when we had run up the hill on it after we met a while ago, we had the system for cutting up the content really like down pretty good. We were churning out content at a pretty good clip, but it's sort of where I think it broke down. We had trouble sort of connecting it and getting it over the finish line was the content was created as being put out there, but then how do we take that effort to make sure it's translating into like actionable insights,
Yeah.
results, leads, sort of like that downstream effect, right? If you have any insights or little tidbits you can share with me that you've seen work for other people in terms of like connecting the strategy to the finish
Yeah.
line, that would be super helpful.
Yeah, very common place you're in, Kyle. What we
Yeah.
see often is that people start with dollar a day, they get excited. Just like, you build a website, you get excited. Once you build a website, then kind of, things fall apart because people get busy. There's other campaigns, other initiatives.
Yeah.
Dollar a day is a systematic testing strategy. And I saw like what we did on TikTok with lead ads that initially was promising. But what we have to do is we have to keep feeding more videos in the machine. And then it's not so much technique as it is process to find the winners. And like you said, the analysis to figure out why are certain things winning. And then when markets shift or it's seasonality or, like summer or whatnot, then other assets will start to come into play. So we need to do a little bit of reallocation there and adjust the machine. It may be like in certain industries, like funeral, people die all the time. So there really isn't a lot of seasonality.
Yeah.
But real estate, obviously there is, and then it differs by country, and so there's this kind of shifting. So if we've done enough testing with dollar a day, we'll find certain campaigns that resonate with certain people, and if we just keep testing, things that weren't winners before will be winners now, just because of the nature of interest rates or the topics that people are talking about. What are the things that agents care about? And I'm not saying that we won't find new hits because I'm always on
Yeah.
the lookout for new hits to be able to put into our
Right.
three, which is our greatest hits, the very best ones. But this process of testing is something that should be built into everything that you do on not even like just paid, but across every single channel and looking at organic as well.
Yeah.
And I have some thoughts on SEO as well that would really work for you guys. I took a look in the last couple of weeks. I can give you some stuff that I think would be super powerful. It's very like low hanging fruit,
Hey
easy.
man, anything you want to throw at me, I'm all ears.
And
Yeah.
it's not just that, like TikTok. I know you guys, came at us for some help with TikTok because that was kind of the shiny thing, not just because agents want to know about TikTok, because there's always a few examples of some agents which are not replicable for various reasons for all the other agents.
Right. Yeah. So much like personality and stuff comes into play with some of these things where it's like, 55-year-old Susie or whatever is going to have struggle replicating what some other people are doing on TikTok without like a lot of practice. So
some people, they just don't have it. It's just, that's not your thing. But I love taking things that have worked on TikTok and then using that to feed Facebook lead ads, because those two things are twins, right? And I would love to compare the results there. And then things, Kyle, that are working on Facebook ads, I want to put those in the TikTok lead ads. Like those two are the same thing, except TikTok's a little bit cheaper. And then if you put in place digital plumbing fully, which I think we started to, where you had some of it, but the more signals that we can put in, so different kinds of custom audiences for remarketing. So maybe there's a way of segmenting agents by kind of what the life stage are they're at, or how many, if they're a broker, how much volume they're doing, or, Tom Ferry's 8 levels.
Right.
What are the different ways that we can segment them? What are we using, like ActiveCampaign or HubSpot?
Most of our information is through Infusionsoft. Our emails and stuff go out of ActiveCampaign.
Okay, good, because we're on Infusionsoft too for our stuff.
Yep.
But with all the tags that you have in Infusionsoft, we can set those up as custom audiences as well.
Yeah.
And therefore, instead of just relying upon purely based objective seeking, because that's what the main thing is now with Google and Facebook, or, like Performance Max on Google, is you give it the objective and the system does the sub-targeting for you, which is great. I get that. But that causes people to believe that they don't need to segment their lists because the system will just like figure out what to do. And on the paid side, that's mostly true. I mean, definitely for organic, you have to, segment and figure out what messages are triggered or that kind of thing. But if we have other things that are based on behaviors, because you guys do regular webinars, you have a lot of reactivation.
Yep.
So I wonder, like, of the people that are signing up for Paperless Agent, the different products we have, how much is like truly cold and how much is like reactivation?
I'd have to think, like, at this point, we have a lot of reactivation. It's actually something, it's interesting you bring it up, that I've wanted to get a lot better at. We've ignored it for so long. We just sort of have this webinar engine and we just like,
that's great because people keep
shoving leads down the funnel, Yeah,
but don't you think reactivation would be the lowest hanging fruit?
Oh, 100%.
So then that's the case. Why don't you just remarket the heck out of every other channel? I would did we set up your tag? I think we set up your tag manager, but if I remember correctly,
we did set up tag manager.
We didn't have, and that was good. And we put through some of the conversion signals, but I think you were missing some of the remarketing pixels. So like, it's free money. Why wouldn't you have Google and Facebook? And Google includes YouTube remarketing. So are we running YouTube remarketing? YouTube remarketing is the cheapest thing on the planet right now.
YouTube remarketing we're getting into. I actually think...
Tom Breeze? Tom Breeze is the number one YouTube advertiser on the planet.
I was just about to bring up that I saw the video that you shared where you and Tom Breeze sat down and had
what
that
did you
chat.
think about that?
It was interesting, like YouTube guru, right? Taking like the stuff you've kind of built your foundation on and being like, oh, wait, this could so easily apply to the stuff I do. And then like, you guys got into the remarketing and stuff. I actually had a light bulb moment during that. And it's kind of what you're honing in on now, is that I think that was part of the piece missing. We had these audiences and it was part of it. Like, so we have people helping us with Google, and we had at one point people helping us with Facebook. We brought Facebook back in house. We had these campaigns that were working okay. We just kind of left them running, but like that kind of meant the audiences didn't get touched. And so I think that stuff we were doing with, putting out content, we weren't taking advantage of, like, we have video views on this that we can like get back in front of. Like, we got a warm audience here that we've warmed up, right? Let's show them some new offers and stuff.
Did you see, though, there was part of it, Kyle, where Tom has this tool, and you don't have to use this tool, but we can use this tool, whatever. He's a friend, so he won't.
The YouTube analyzer thing.
Where he found the clips, like it could, you guys have so many webinars, we could just run it through there, and there'll be like one thing you wouldn't know it unless you looked at the analytics. That is the one thing. Oh, well, my mentor told me this one thing, or here's this one thing, and that is your hook, or that is what you do for your bumper ad, right? That you're not just running it on YouTube, but run it everywhere. If the thing's a hook, you'd run it everywhere. Yeah,
that's so good, man. Does he have that tool to share?
No, it's his own tool, but he's a buddy.
I got you.
You got kind of like people like Tom. They're so abundant, and he's already so just wildly successful. He doesn't need to work anymore, which is great. That he's just happy to share like what he's doing, and so why not, right? I mean, I do the same thing too, right?
That's very cool. Yeah,
and you guys are established. You're not some like new thing. You're a 7-figure info product business, which is pretty rare among info product businesses. Yeah. So the fact that you already have a base of users, you have a strong signal, there's obviously just free money on the table because of reactivation and remarketing. You're not leveraging all the other channels. I would just milk the heck out of the free stuff first. And then our guys can help you with that. Daniel's out sick for a few days and he's working on some other stuff, but it's not like remarketing or adding more pixels inside that container is a hard thing to do. It's not like going to whoever's doing your Google ads and saying, hey, you know what? We really want to do some YouTube campaigns. Can we also set up some PMax while we're at it? Right.
And PMax is
Performance Max, where everything gets
right.
put in one
the
thing.
new stuff. Yeah.
Well, it's not. It's been a year and a half, but it's still new for most people.
It's funny how much people resist it, though. They're like, "Oh, but Google's controlling all the levers I used to pull to like get the results." And
you're not running separate search and display campaigns. It's all, you just stick everything in one bucket and let the system figure it out. And Facebook's always done the same thing, because it used to be you had to set up separate campaigns for Instagram versus Messenger versus the news feed versus whatever. Now it's just there's 14 placements and the system just resizes your stuff for the placement.
Yep.
So why wouldn't you? I mean, you don't trust the engine? Or if you're an agency, okay, fine. You don't want the client to know that.
Right. You can be replaced.
Yeah, exactly. Like, fine. I'm not charging you based on my time. I'm charging it based on the results. So who cares what they're doing versus what the less I have to do, the better.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
They just want the performance. They don't care.
And a lot of it works too, right? Like, that's the crazy part is like,
well, it takes longer now with PMax. The learning phase. Yeah. Sometimes it can take 2 or 3 months instead of just like a week or two. And of course you can get there faster by spending more money, but some clients don't like that, right?
Cool, man. Yeah. I think that's great. Thank you. I think that's a great path to go down. I think too, because like we internally we're really focused on getting the signals back from our clients, listening to what they're saying, tweaking. Like, we had webinars in the can that were just like, we love doing them live because that interaction is hard to replace. But we had these recordings like that we just kept performing 20% conversion every time. I was telling
Chris, why not make all this, like, there's nothing dirty or scammy about Evergreen, as long as someone's there to answer the questions, or you intro it live and then you let the rest of it run, So
that's the point we had gotten to, is where we'd be there answering questions, but we had like the core recording running. But then those started, as things started to shift in the market, those started declining in performance. So we're back in like, we need to get the recordings that work now. And we've gotten a couple that have like gotten close to where we were. So we're starting to figure it out. But yeah, man, as we're doing it, we're creating all this new stuff and in this mindset, we just need to be sharing all that stuff constantly with everyone in these little clips that we can figure out what's working, and then retarget the work we actually do to get it in front of people. That retargeting, remarketing mix, I really think that's a big part of what we were missing. That makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
You want to see some SEO?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let me share my screen.
SEO. I love looking into SEO, man. It's just like,
because there's so much. Let's look at the data. All right, here we go. This is my Zoom, so I can share. Good. All right, Kyle, you see this?
Yeah.
Okay. So not bad at a 49. I think you guys should be like a 50 or 60 in terms of your domain rating, because I just think that the backlinks you have, it looks like you have a lot of backlinks, but they're not really as high quality as it could be when you have more like the media sort of links. So you have a lot, like most of these are just lower power, but they are super relevant, right? And there's nothing wrong with not having these being the right anchor text, because Google can see that if you do too much of this, it's obviously you're trying to, spam the situation. Right. Let me show you this other guy who's Remax in Nashville. Jason Pantana showed this to me, and then he put it on a webinar and whatnot. All right, so just choose any random place in Nashville. Like, pick one of these people. Have you seen this before?
Let's do the 475K one.
This one?
Yeah.
So here's the address. So someone's looking at this house, and of course they're going to Google it, right? So you Google it, and here's the map, and here's the big boys. Redfin. Look, Nashville's MLS. Who the hell are they?
Interesting.
Well, let's see. Now, of course, you can just scrape these sorts of sites together very easily. But why is it that this guy is ranking on any single address in Nashville? And this is driving him lots of sales, right? It's obviously very good for his business, right? It's because he has one link. Let's go look. He's a DR55, but he's got 115,000 keywords, which are all long tail terms like addresses and stuff, right? We look at his, you're cool with me using these SEO tools, or I can explain any of these sorts of things if I'm going too fast.
No, you're good. I've seen this kind of stuff before.
Okay, cool. So if we look, his top link is nhl.com/predators. You're like, what is this? And look, NHL. So it's all this one link. Okay.
Yeah.
Now let's go look at the Predators homepage, and we scroll down and look right here. Oops. See this right here?
Yeah.
Sponsors, this one link is driving his entire business.
Wow.
Okay. Now, this is sort of a gray area, of course, because you remember like for the last 10 years, 15 years, people have been selling like blog links and footer links and stuff like that.
Google doesn't love it when you pay for the link placements if it can figure it out.
But if you make it so that at least it's reasonable that you're not buying the link, because if you're a sponsor, then you have a banner in the stadium, you have box seats, you're like doing all this other stuff, even though obviously this is the main reason why they're doing it, to get the link on the page, right?
Yeah.
So we happen to control lots of sites. So one of my sites is freeebooks.net, which is a DR74. So it's not as big as the NHL, but it's within an order of magnitude, which is pretty impressive. Like this one here, I know it's not pretty, but I got 1 million organics coming every month.
That's
on Google,
amazing.
just off of it. It's been around forever, which is why. And I've got 8 million backlinks on a DR74. So one of my friends is Daryl Isaacs, who's done a couple $2 billion as an attorney. And this is him. And they fired their SEO company. Their SEO company was charging him $70,000 a month and doing almost nothing. It was just a scam. And if you look at their stuff, they don't rank on that many keywords. They rank on glossary sorts of terms because they put up a glossary, and they don't have much juice here. I know I'm not saying the DR is the most important thing, just like the horsepower of your car is like one of many reasons for performance. But it is like you don't have enough juice. Yeah. You can't rank on medium and competitive terms because you just don't have enough juice, right?
Yep.
So and then you look like if you look at the keywords he ranks on, they're all like crappy glossary terms because they pulled a glossary on like what is a reefer truck and how do you get a commercial driver's license. This has nothing to do. What is a CDL? I mean, yeah, it's a competitive term. We're ranking number 6 on it, but it's an informational query. So this guy is a personal injury attorney, so he wants people who got hit by a truck, not people who are like doing a research paper on I want to be a truck driver, right? You see glossary is garbage, right? Gross vehicle weight rating. Who cares about that? Yes, it's a more competitive term, but who cares, right? So glossary, right? So I said, wait, what we need to do is we need to pump up the SEO power of the site and have real articles. So I went ahead and put the sponsors here of Isaacs and Isaacs, which is We Win, Liquivita. These are all friends of mine, right? Because we actually are working with them, but they're not technically buying links. We're just doing lots of things, and we just happen to, put them here to honor them. So for info products, you don't have to have as many keywords because it depends on, the quality of these keywords. But here of course, you rank on your name and you rank on these terms here. But a lot of these are missing. They could have more SERP features, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's because some of these articles are not as rich as they could be. So if we look at this pre-listing packet, and actually this is good. Okay. What was the one I was looking at before?
Yeah, this one
good.
It's nice pointing it out. It could use an update.
The site has a 49, which is okay. I think it should be like, mid 50s or 60.
Okay.
But some of these pages have no power because there's not enough, the links, we're not distributing our internal link equity properly. So we're not getting as many keywords here.
An internal link equity, you're talking about referencing it like throughout our other pages and posts sort of throughout the site.
So you would use something like a link whisper. Which is our favorite, which is there's all the tools are now like AI powered in some way, right? So this one will look across your site and say, okay, you should link from here to here on this anchor text, and it'll make suggestions. And then our VAs will often just select all of them, but you need a human to look at the recommendations, and you probably take like a third of the recommendations the AI provides you. And then Rank Math, which is my other favorite WordPress plugin, will also help shape this to go, because every page should go against one keyword it's trying to rank on, right? And then it will try to like optimize your score to like 80, 90 plus for that keyword. So we look at this page and it ranks on these 30 keywords. Well, which of these keywords can we push up a little bit? So if we're ranking on pre-listing packet and package and pre-listing and listing spelled other ways, these are all like low keyword difficulty. And because this page doesn't have any authority, it's a 0. It can still rank on these, but what if we could just pass through to a little higher, a little more juice? Like I can give you some juice from the sites that we have. And then when I look at pre-listing pack, there's all the type-head search results. You saw that, right? These are all things that we need to have as well. But then if I come here, there's an ad. Oh, there's our ad. Good. 4 site links. Very good. If we don't have blog posts that answer all the PAA that then link into that page, right?
Gotcha.
People also ask, this is kind of like Google's telling us, if you want to rank on this thing, you have to
answer these questions.
I think we need to just put more URLs up. Yeah, you're at 632. So this you should be over 1,000 easily. This number's low relative to your site. Most info news, major, they're up at like 20,000, 30,000.
Right.
We just don't have enough URLs. Like we just don't have enough tokens in the game, basically. And some SEO people are like, I'd rather have fewer URLs that are more powerful, and I'll just trim the ones that don't get any traffic. And I get that too. But I would think with all the content, all the webinars, all the stuff you've ever done, this number is pretty low. Because this is also including like tags and categories and other stuff. So the amount of actual content might only be, whatever, 400 pages or something.
Yeah. Yeah. This is great, man. I got a lot to go off here. I got you for a couple more minutes. I didn't want to keep you over. I did have a quick question. There's part that you were talking to us about getting guest speakers and being able to leverage the other person's audience to sort of expand your reach into new stuff. Is there any particular trick to that? Or
I'm so glad you brought this up. Very, very important. Okay. So I've been on the Paperless Agent podcast too. So I'll show you a couple things. This is an easy thing to do. You just basically have a VA do this or something. Okay. Facebook on $1 a day. You have the video where we're talking about it. And this, what you could do is you could, well, I'll show you a couple things. Let me just see how much power there is on this. I think there's like no power on this. There's nothing.
No, it's like 10 years old. Not that long, but a while
I was
ago.
like 6, 7 years old. Whatever. Yeah. Am I that old? Okay.
I have to ask myself that all the time.
I first started doing the search engine thing almost 30 years ago. And it feels like just only a couple of years. I just can't believe it's been that long, but it has, in the mid 90s.
Man.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel like an old person. When you're telling stories from a long time ago, that's when you're old. But this is getting no traffic. So, why is that? Well, we're not linking to it internally, and externally, we're not linking to it. And then this one should. I mean, you could optimize the URL to, include like real estate in here, even though topically it knows. Or the easiest thing to do is just take this and say, I'll give you 3 or 4 techniques here. One is like, you're a real estate agent. Here's how to apply the $1 a day strategy.
Sweet.
Is it the Paperless Agent?
The Paperless Agent, yeah. So this page is old and probably outdated. There a chance I can update it before you blast it out?
Doesn't matter.
Okay, all right.
Tweet all day long, okay?
Cool, man.
So there's that. And then, of course, daily limit for sending tweets. What are you talking about? Okay, fine. But you know how to do $1 a day on Twitter, right? I was showing you and Tom and all that, right?
I saw that from Tom's video. Twitter's one I actually haven't explored.
Twitter's my favorite for $1 a day.
Really?
Best. Oh, yeah. So
I did see some of the targeting stuff. It is pretty nice that there's just more options than a lot of the other platforms now.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. So here's another thing. Let me show you. I'll go to YouTube. So my buddy Caleb, he started with me when he was nothing, and I think I showed this in the Tom's thing. But he's one of my favorite students because he actually does everything I ask, and he's got like 600 videos, 500, 600 videos, and he's got a lot, right?
Yeah.
And he's interviewing all these other people, right? Or some of them it's just like him. Some of it, like here, he's like interviewing people about stuff. Here's some random one. Can you get rich chasing your dreams? Okay, whatever.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, buckle up. This is going to be a fun conversation. Chris, welcome to the Better Wealth Show.
So Chris Tuff. Okay. Now, of course, all these people who are on a podcast, you want to honor them. You can have your URL like this one here. But what you do is you reach out to if these people have some juice on their site, you could say, hey, Chris was so excited, so honored, so inspired. Sorry, inspired is the word. Chris is so inspired from the webinar we did together that he wrote a guest blog post they would love to post on your site, honoring you and the 7 tips you shared about whatever. Would that be okay? And of course they say yes, because it's a vanity play. So what we do is we inventory, and this is where we use Descript. So you know how Descript works, right?
Yeah, Descript's great.
They've released a lot of new things in the last month, which is awesome. So we've inventoried all his stuff through Descript and turned them into blog posts. And when it's featuring whoever the person is, then we need to make sure that we tag them on Twitter and see if we can get either a post that we put up there, or we offer them the first right to have that blog post on their site, which gives us SEO. Either way, we get SEO, whether it's on their site, which they love the fact that we take the extra effort. It's an honor thing. Like, yeah, we even put the thing together based on our, made a little diagram on the 7 tips that you shared on whatever. And that way you win either way. And then you take that URL, either their URL or our URL, and then tweet it and boost it to their audience. Because, Twitter, we can any handle, even if they have like 2 followers, we can go after them. And then we use Descript to, of course, get the transcription and run it through ChatGPT and make it kind of nicer, right?
Oh man, it's amazing how
yeah.
I play with ChatGPT a lot. I fed it some random chicken scratch notes I had made
Uh-huh.
on a webinar. It's like, hey, turn this into an email promoting a webinar on this topic.
Uh-huh.
I was
Oh, yeah.
amazed at how
Oh,
close
yeah.
it got back. Like,
It's scary, I know. But you see, it's the combination of using these tools. So it starts with the core of video, long form video that of course gets chopped up into different pieces
right.
and limit videos. But when you use like Descript and ChatGPT and you repurpose it, which is the whole process with all the VAs, and then you do dollar a day against it,
Yeah.
that's the whole thing of the content factory. So everything I've been doing is about how do I find a winner? And then I just want to multiply that across every single channel and then do dollar a day against it. That's why I love YouTube so much. And I love Twitter so much because I found things that worked on Facebook that I've moved over to those other channels.
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't you? It's just straight up arbitrage.
I've definitely loved YouTube shorts, YouTube clips, videos, stuff. Been great.
Yeah. So this whole game right now, I think for the next 2 years, we're manually going to have to repurpose and do all these things like I was just showing you. But I think in the next 2 years, the tools will pretty much do all of it for us at some point. It's just, we're getting, it will
You
get
can
there.
see them get closer and closer. I mean, yeah.
Everything I'm teaching will be obsolete in 2 years, but it still needs to be done right now.
Yeah.
Don't just wait for it to happen,
No. It's like, yeah, there's still, even when it's done, then you need the people that sort of know how to just like push the buttons, right? Feed it the right, whatever.
For VA, we still need VAs to do this stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, awesome, man. Thanks so much for the time today. I've got a handful of things I know I can just go
Some good value.
put in play and make it work. I appreciate you taking the time. It's always nice when I can
and then
brainstorm
Kyle,
some of the masterminds.
you have my link. So anytime you want to chat, just book a time. And then the thing I really like doing is if you want to look at, I love looking at campaigns. I just love looking and just like analyzing, like rolling up the sleeves. Like I'm happy to show you these other things that we're working on, but I always love learning from you to see what's working and what isn't. And then we can just optimize together. I know this one was sort of like a broad.
Oh man, but once I get some of these retargeting campaigns going, get some of the Twitter and stuff juiced, I would love to dig into some campaigns. That'd be fun, man.
Yeah, like my favorite is building out Twitter campaigns because they're so easy. They're so much fun. It's not even a pain. Like building out Google campaigns and Facebook campaigns is a pain right now for me because I don't like to do it anymore.
Like changes it. Like, I don't know. I was doing it like back in the day when I remember my ads manager. And it's like, now every time I have to go in and like actually manage them myself, I'm like, all right, let me learn from scratch what buttons to click and
moved it around on me.
Yeah. Great, man. Well, thanks so much again. I'll definitely hit you up when I got some of these campaigns running. We'll do a little like hot or not with it.
Yeah, we'll just have some fun, a little show and tell.
Yeah, cool, man. All right. Well, I appreciate it so much, Dennis. We'll talk soon, man.
Talk soon.